Sin City's where you go in with your eyes open. Or you don't come out at all.
Hello, welcome to What the Flick. It is a chewing gum and rubber band edition of What the Flick today. Alonzo and I are here to talk to you about Sin City. I'm actually going to play the role of Matt Atchity. I have not seen Sin City 2 because it's screened at the exact same time as If I Stay. If ever there was a Sophie's Choice evening for us,
I'm telling you what,
this would be it. So I had to go see If I Stay. But Matt has seen it. I know what Matt thinks, so I'll be playing the role of Matt Atchity. But first, Alonzo is going to describe the sequel to Sin City.
Sin City, A Dame to Kill For. So yeah, it's been 9 years since Sin City, but apparently someone decided that we really wanted to see that again. And so pretty much what you get is Sin City again. If you liked all the sort of gimmicky green screen animated rain and people falling in slow-mo out of windows with the glass surrounding them, you get lots more of that in Sin City, A Dame to Kill For. Take a look.
I need your help. Needs going up against a lot of guns.
I'm gonna kill Rourke. Count me in.
Power is a fragile thing. I need them to know the price of defiance. Now, who wants to play?
Looks like trouble.
Looks like Christmas.
You're starting a gang war in a game for professionals. Never lose control. Never let the monster out.
Yeah, so it seems like they're sort of in a tough spot with this, because if you're going to do a sequel, it has to be exactly the same, like in terms of its style. You can't deviate and go do something like a docudrama type of thing. It can't be realistic. It has to be that hyper stylized thing that they do so well. And it was so breathtakingly novel the first time. This is all what Matt thinks. Matt was happy to see a lot of Ava Green's breasts. I understand she's quite naked.
There is a lot of Ava Green's breasts in this movie, and that's the highlight, really. Sure, her performance and the breasts.
The headlights are the highlight.
And exactly. There is more naked Eva Green, and in fact more naked Josh Brolin than there are naked strippers in this movie.
Right.
Like, all the strippers keep their tops on, and this is an R-rated movie. We complain about this in, like, you know, the internship or whatever, where they go to strip clubs where everybody's breasts are firmly tucked away, or Rock of Ages. But even in this movie, where they're perfectly happy to have all the female characters be strippers or prostitutes or just man traps, but no boobies.
Well,
except for Eva Green.
Jessica Alba does not get naked.
No, she does not.
But
there are other.
This is her thing in general. I mean.
Right. Which why then cast her? But then other strippers in the movie also follow her lead, so it's kind of a weird thing.
Interesting. Yeah, it just seems like it would be impossible to make this novel in any way. Is it just cashing in all over again?
Pretty much. I mean, the technology hasn't changed that much. I mean, it was a groundbreaking in 2005. Now it's kind of standard, really, that people will make these movies that are all green screen or heavily green screen. So that factor is out of it. And it's funny because, you know, Dave was watching the first Sin City again on cable yesterday, and I was in another room just listening to it while I was doing other stuff. And I realized, oh yeah, that movie, without the visuals, it's terrible. I mean, the dialogue is awful, the plotting is stupid. And this movie, it's kind of the same thing. And after about 5 minutes, once you've gotten used to the fact that, okay, we're getting this again, it's really boring. Like, a movie with this many decapitations should not be this boring. It's Robert Rodriguez. I think there's a problem here where he wants to make just sort of good old-fashioned gut bucket exploitation movies, but those movies are fun, and those movies move and have a, you know, they have a pace, and they deliver on just the cheap thrills. This movie and Machete Kills, his last one, both sequels, all they had to be was fun and stupid. Nobody was expecting them to be these great cinematic things. They just had to be fun and stupid, and they're just stupid and not fun and super boring.
Yeah, and Frank Miller once again gets co-directing credit here.
Right.
One thing that Matt was saying was that Frank Miller can do that noir dialogue beautifully and can really like cut to the core of like what makes that kind of writing work. But he was saying that in this one, it lapses into self-parody and just gets silly quite often.
Yeah, there were times where I thought it would just take the tiniest push for this to be a noir parody, and instead it just feels like noir for dummies, or like a movie that assumes that you never have and never will see a noir movie, and so you just think, oh well, that's what this is, you know. Yeah, there are lines that maybe worked on paper and should just never be read out loud. There are these scenes where you can tell the actors are keeping their face still so they look more like a frame in a comic book, and it's just not effective.
And maybe the first time they do that, it's kind of cool, but you do it like 10 times and the novelty wears off.
Yeah, and then you've got like three sort of intertwining stories, but they never really quite intertwine effectively. So it's just sort of like, we're going to follow this character for a while. Oh, now we're going to follow this guy. Oh, and now it's about her. And
I was going to ask you, is there a plot?
There's sort of three threads. There's Jessica Alba wants revenge against Powers Booth for killing Bruce Willis in the first movie, but she can't bring herself to shoot him, even though she's a crack shot. So she actually mutilates herself to get Mickey Rourke to do it for her. You know, because God forbid a woman have agency in this movie. Then you've got Josh Brolin getting sucked back into the web of Eva Green, who's his ex, who's basically, you know, in classic noir style, sort of using him to get her out of her marriage to a rich man. And then there's also Powers Booth gets beaten at poker by Joseph Gordon-Levitt and takes revenge. That's kind of it.
That sounds terrible. So in conclusion, Matt says it's fine. It says they're real and they're spectacular. So his number is a 6.
I say it's a 1.
Wow.
If you really just want to see Eva Green's breasts, they'll be all over the internet in no time.
So our average, or their average, is a 3.5. It's at 50% on the tomato meter.
They seem to hire her to liven these things up, like that 500 sequel.
300.
300, yeah, sorry.
It should be 600, right?
There you go, boom.
But she was super naked in that too, was she not?
Yeah, I didn't see it. I just remember you guys talking about it and saying how she was the one thing that sort of, you know, kept you awake, and that's kind of the role she. Yeah, that's the role she plays here. But she's not so great that you should pay to see this movie.
There you go. Bye.